For the past 2 years, Russia has been waging a full-scale war against Ukraine, not only on the ground, but in cyberspace. Sophisticated hackers working for Moscow's military have conducted hundreds of cyber attacks. The vast majority of the attacks we know about didn't target the Ukrainian armed forces, but instead focused deliberately on civilian infrastructure. But do these hackers really think this will help Russia win the war? Or do civilians just make easy targets? The answer to both these questions is yes. Russian leaders view cyber conflict as not only a battle over bits and bytes, but a way to conquer hearts and minds. Moscow has thought long and hard about cyber operations, including as a key way to disorient, demoralize, and ultimately disarm entire civilizations. But how is that actually working out for them? Ukraine has been a test bed for Russian cyber aggression for at least a decade. Far from losing faith or capitulating, its citizens have rallied around each other and their leaders. Instead of crumbling, Ukraine has become an example of digital resilience, with e-government services thriving and a world-class technology and cybersecurity community, backed by a historic outpouring of commercial and technical support. This follows a pattern that scholars have observed throughout history. For instance, military leaders in past conflicts around the world have predicted that bombing civilians and the infrastructure they depend on would be a key ingredient to military victory. But it rarely turns out that way. In most cases, as with Ukraine today, bombing civilians and infrastructure stokes more anger than anxiety and fuels more resolve than resignation. In cyberspace, it may even be a war crime. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has raised questions about how effective cyber attacks can be in armed conflict. If they're mostly designed to hurt civilians, the answer might just be not very. While we should all work hard to make sure Russian hackers aren't able to turn out the lights, Ukraine's resilience reminds us not to underestimate our own ability to turn them back on again.